Welcome to Aligned with Kell, the podcast where we talk all things small business. It's a mix of mindset, empowerment, real conversations, and of course, alignment. I'm your host, Kell, a businesswoman with close to 20 years of business experience. Get ready for a mix of solo deep dives and inspiring interviews with awesome guests who will share how they have aligned their businesses with the lives they love. Let's dive in to align your business with the life you've always wanted. Welcome to another episode of Aligned with Kell Quarrell. I am Kell, your host, and today we're going to jump into another short, punchy solo deep dive. And this episode is for you. If you are a woman in business that is feeling a little out of sorts with your business, whether or not you're feeling like there's a bit of frustration there's a bit of resentment, a bit of bitterness, maybe you're just feeling a little lost in where is your journey going in your business, then today's episode is for you. And I want to talk into this because this is something that I work very closely with my clients and also my members inside Bold Aligned Business, because I'm very passionate about people creating businesses that align with, one, the season of life that they're currently in, but two, what it is that they actually want from life. And many times people get into business with this sense of passion. They're passionate about their skill set. They're passionate about creating something that is their own. They are passionate about having an impact in other people's lives. And they really create a business from that passion. However, when they get into business, that they realize, wow, there is so much that needs to be done, particularly if it is that you are a team of one or a solopreneur. And very quickly, that passion can start to drop away when we are looking at juggling all of the other priorities that we have in life in and around our business. And so I'm very passionate, as I said, about people creating a business that truly aligns with not only what it is that they want from life, but also it aligns with the way that they want to do business, because there is no point all of us doing business the same way, because we are all very much individual. We are all on our own journey, and we all have different priorities, different visions, and different goals for our business and our life. And recently, I have just put together a brand new business alignment blueprint document, and it is a free resource. I'm going to link this in the show notes of today's episode, but it's a document I've put together for people to be able to do a little bit of a check-in on where they're at and how they're feeling in their business, and looking at the areas that I feel sometimes we can gloss over because there are so many things that we actually need to be doing in our business on any given day. And so the first thing that I always get people to look at is, what are their core values? What are their values in life, and what are their values in business? And are they living into those values every single day? Are those values being the North Star of their decision making? And if they're not, then let's take a moment to step back and say, well, are they really my values? Or have I actually moved away from them, and do I need to pivot and make some changes? Or it could be just about, okay, I need to bring those values back to the forefront of my decision-making process and have them somewhere where I can really kind of lock in with them every single day. Once we've looked at our values, we then look at, what are our priorities? What are the current priorities that I have in my life based on the season of life that I'm currently in? Now, as a woman in business, we go through many seasons of life. We can go through becoming a parent for the first time. We can go through, our children growing and becoming, teenagers, and then that takes a different level of parenting. Then we look at, whether or not our children are then moving out of the house and we become empty nesters, all in and around the intricacies that happen within that. And there is a saying that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. However, we do not all have the opportunity to spend those 24 hours in the same way. So my life with teenage girls is going to look very different to a woman in business that has her very first newborn. That's going to look different to someone that is raising children as a single mum, as opposed to having a partner in support. There's so many different factors. You might have a partner that is currently FIFO, so fly in, fly out. So you're doing the majority of the parenting in bulk blocks of time, and then you have limited support. So there's all these different things. And I know that if you're listening to this, you will have your own story within that. But it's very, very important to understand, what are your current priorities in life? Without judgment, without shame. Maybe your current priority right now is your health and fitness. And so possibly the business is taking a slightly back seat to knowing that you really want to work on your health and fitness, and that has to be a priority. Your priority might be elderly parents that are needing more care. Whatever the priorities are, there is no judgment around that. It's just about making sure you're consciously aware of what are the current priorities for the season of life that I'm currently in, and knowing that they can change very quickly and very rapidly. Then we look at the vision. What is the big vision that you have for your business? What is the big vision that you have for your life? And we can look at this as the really big helicopter view, and then work that back down to smaller visions within that, which come down to what are our goals? What are the things that we're working towards? But it's really important that you have a vision, because when we get started in business, as I said, a lot of people start business from a passion, and there is often that tied into having a sense of freedom and choice, being that you become your own boss. But when we are beginning to lose that passion based on how much is actually involved in running and scaling a business, then it's about what was the big vision that we had in the beginning. And if we didn't have one, what is the vision that we have now for business and for life? And I just want to side note here really quickly, because I think very often we are told that our vision for our business and our life are somewhat separate, that we should separate our business from our life. And that is not necessarily always the case for everyone. I was working with a client last week, and we were sharing how when it is that we choose to step away from our business, whether or not we are going on a holiday or we're spending, extra time with family, that we can have a little bit of a disconnect if it is that we choose to step fully away from our business. And what we have realized is, because our business is part of who we are, we get so much joy and we get so much energy from what we get to do in our business, that we now see it that we don't necessarily have to look at our business and our life separately, but we get to be able to do both in conjunction with each other. So even if we are traveling and going on holidays, there's an element of us still wanting to remain connected to our business, because we don't have a business that we feel like we need to have a holiday from. So if it is that you need to go back and think about what is your big picture vision for your business and life, maybe consider that they aren't as separate as what you once thought. Maybe that is an old mindset that we've been led to believe is the way when it is that you go into business. Then we get to look at your beliefs. And so that can take on, a whole range of different things. But what is the belief that you have in you being successful in your business? And what is the beliefs that you've had up until this point? And do some of those beliefs need to be changed. And then we get to start to look at, what is our mindset around our belief systems. And so that takes on a big picture, a big part of this alignment picture. And then lastly, we look at, what are the skills? What are the skills that I currently have? And what are the skills that I possibly need to acquire? Or do I need to outsource in order for me to bring all of this together to have true business alignment? And again, going back to why a lot of people start out in business, it is this passion. And often that passion is centered around a skill, whether or not they've become recently graduated in a skill set and they think, I want to go ahead and turn this in to a business. Then it gets to the point where you get in business and it's like, do I need a whole new different skill set to be able to make this work? Prime example is for me when I started my Alabaster franchise many, many years ago. I was a newly graduated beauty therapist and I would have been classed as a mature age beauty therapist. And I worked for another family that owned an Alabaster franchise. I absolutely loved it. And I got the passion from my new skill set to go out and do business for myself. And so I then opened my very own Alabaster franchise. What I realized in that journey was, yes, I had the skill sets of a very, very good beauty therapist. But as time went on, I realized that I needed to get a very different skill set in knowing how to run a business. And so, not that it's wrong that you've got into business from passion and from a newly acquired skill set, absolutely not. But it's important just to be able to take a step back and have a look at, is there a new skill set that I now need to either acquire for myself or to outsource in order for me to be successful in my business? And I also want to take another quick little side note here around that word successful and that word success, because only you can determine what success is to you in your business and your life. You will have different driving factors to the next person. And so what success is to you is most important. There's been this, if you look on social media, there has been this real focus on people having the $1 million business. And it seems like if you want anything less than that, then you're really not serious. But you need to understand what goes into having a $1 million business. And is that truly your idea of success? You might be very happy with a multiple 6-figure business, being that you just want to be you and maybe one part-time person in support of you. You may have no interest in having a team whatsoever. Then you need to be very realistic of what would it take to have a $1 million business if you had no support system, if you had no team members, if that was your choice. So we have to be very realistic and very, very clear on what is success to you, and be okay with whatever that looks like. Think about, how do you get to spend your time? What does that look like for income? What does that look like with the type of clients that you're working with? What does that look like in all avenues of your business? Is it that you get to outsource, bring in contractors for the things that you absolutely do not like doing? Is it that you get to spend your time each and every day doing the things that you love and you don't do the things that you don't love? That's what it is about being in business. And when you are aligned to understanding what is your definition of success in business and life, and you just make that your North Star for your decision making and your actions, then for me, that is what business is all about. So, as I said, I've put together a business alignment blueprint. If you are interested in getting that, it's a free download. The show notes will have the direct link. But you can also go to my website, which is kellquarrell.com.au, and you will see on the homepage at the very top a bar. You can click that and go in and drop your email address, and I will send that directly to you. But this is something that I'm so passionate about, working with my one-on-one clients, but also my members inside Bold Aligned Business, ensuring that they are creating a business that aligns with, one, the season of life that they are currently in, but two, their definition of success. What is it that they want from their business and life? And then how do we go to work on making that come a reality? So, Bold Aligned Business, the doors are currently open. We would love to welcome you into our community. It is my monthly business membership for women in business. So if you are looking for more clarity, you are looking for more accountability, you are looking for more support, if you're looking for the opportunity to carve out time to work on your business in all different areas, mindset, marketing, finances, all of the things, then Bold Aligned Business is the place for you. It is $97 a month, and it is cancel anytime. So if you've been sitting on the fence and you haven't been quite sure, then all I would say is come in, join us for a month. If it's not for you, then you can cancel anytime. However, I'm pretty confident that once you come in and you get to know the other members and see how much of a supportive and incredible community we are, you'll want to stay. But that's totally your choice. But I hope you've got value out of today's little quick deep dive session. As I said, I'm not interested in you doing business the same way as everyone else. I'm interested in you creating a business and a life that is in alignment and that gives you the true sense of success and what that means to you. So have a beautiful day. I look forward to seeing you next week when we have the incredible Angela Lockwood joining us. And until then, have a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Aligned with Kell Quarrell. I hope our conversations have inspired you to be bold in the pursuit of your dreams. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd be so grateful if you shared it with the business women in your life and took the time to leave a review. Your feedback is like an ice-cold glass of Prosecco, always welcomed and always appreciated. You might even consider giving the show a follow. Until next time, continue to take bold action towards aligning your business with your deepest desires.